Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we will talk about the monthly cost of living in UK. So in this video, we will discuss the rent that you have to pay per month, the electricity bill, the phone bill, the groceries, the travel, and the council tax. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about the rent. In general, in any country, the bigger the city, the higher the rent. So in UK, if you are living in London, the rent would be the highest. Central London is the most expensive in terms of groceries, in terms of travel, in terms of food, in terms of everything. So let's say you as a single student or as a single worker, you're living in the UK in London. What would be the average rent? On average in London, a single person would have to pay at least 600 to 800 pounds per month. Or if you don't live in London, you live in another city, you would have to pay probably around 400 to 600 pounds per month. The price once again depends upon the city that you live in. But on average, you'll have to pay around this to live in London or to live outside London. For a family or a couple, meaning for more than one person, the accommodation will cost a lot more, as you'll need a much bigger place. So for a family living in London, you will have to pay at least around 1,000 to 1,500 pounds per month. But if you live outside London in a cheaper area, you will have to pay 600 to 800 pounds per month for a decent accommodation. One thing to keep in mind with all of these things is the prices may vary. From the time of recording this video to different cities, the prices will definitely vary and your experience may vary. I am talking about my personal experience and what I know. According to my knowledge, in London, a single person will have to pay around 600 to 800 pounds and a family around 1,000 to 1,500, while in other cities that are much cheaper than London, you will have to pay at least 400 to 600 pounds for a single person or 600 to 800 pounds for a family. And you can get very decent accommodation around this range. Next, let's talk about groceries. Groceries is something that's very hard to put a value on because it is highly subjective and it varies a lot with different people. Some people eat a lot, some people eat less, some people eat a lot and it's cheaper because they eat out a lot or they buy cheap stuff. But some people may eat less and yet it will cost more because they buy high quality stuff. So as a couple living in UK, on average you would spend about 200 to 250 pounds per month. This will include all the groceries that you need for a month. And for two people, you would have to spend at least 200 to 250 pounds per month. Of course, as I mentioned previously, this is outside London and inside London, in central London, it will be a lot more expensive. So you can expect to spend at least around 300 to 400 pounds per month if you're living as a couple in London. In terms of places to buy groceries, in my personal experience, Lidl and Aldi are the cheapest options. And they also provide high quality stuff, but the prices are just a bit cheaper. Now all that talk was about a couple living in UK. If you're a single person or a student living in UK, you would spend about 100 to 200 pounds per month on groceries or on eating out. Once again, it is highly subjective. Some people eat a lot, some people eat less. So the price will definitely vary for you. Next, let's talk about council tax. This is the tax you pay for things like roads, street lamps, libraries, garbage collection, etc. etc. All the different facilities that are provided to you by the council. The council will charge you a tax for it. The tax ranges between 100 to 200 pounds per month on average, and it definitely varies with cities a lot. In London, it will be a lot higher. In other cities, it may be lower than 100 pounds. But you have to pay this tax and you can choose to pay it monthly or on an annual basis. One exception is if you rent an all-inclusive property, then you don't have to pay this bill or other bills such as water, gas, electricity, because an all-inclusive property will cover everything in one payment. So you don't have to worry about this. But for other people in general, you will have to pay this tax around 100 to 200 pounds per month. And once again, as I mentioned previously, the prices may vary for you. Now let's talk about the different bills: electricity, gas and water. In Asian countries, the bills are usually higher in summer because in summer it's a lot hotter and we use fans and air conditioners to cool ourselves down. So the electricity bill is a lot higher in summer. In UK, it's the exact opposite. In UK, the bills are a lot higher in winter because in UK, the winters are very extreme and you'd be using a lot of heaters and heating equipment to keep yourself warm in winter. Another thing to keep in mind is that all of these bills highly depend on the size of the house and of course the usage. If you're a single person and you're living in a small apartment, the bills will be a lot lower than a full family living in a full-fledged house. But in my experience, in summer you can expect a bill around 50 to 60 pounds per month as a couple, and in winter around 70 to 90 pounds per month. Once again, this may vary, and these are only the electricity and gas bills. In terms of water, it is highly dependent on the usage of water, but on average you would have to pay at least around 30 to 40 pounds per month for water in UK. Now let's talk about phone or internet packages. You can find various packages online that are according to your needs, and you can select any one you like. In terms of internet packages, you can choose either an internet only or with broadband TV option. Of course, the internet only option will be cheaper, and that's the one we use. The internet only option on average costs you around 25 to 30 pounds per month, but you would have to pay separately for your phone package. For your phone, there are different packages depending on your usage. If you just want to make calls and you want a SIM only package, that is a lot cheaper than a full-fledged data and SIM package. So for SIM only, you would have to pay at least around 10 to 15 pounds per month. But if your usage requires data and other facilities, you will have to pay more. If you plan on staying here long term, you can get a contract which includes the phone bill. It's an annual contract that you pay once a year, and it's usually cheaper than a monthly payment. Lastly, let's talk about traveling and other expenses. As a single person, if you're living in London, your traveling expenses can be minimized by getting a pass. In London, you can get a tube pass for around 200 pounds, and you can use that to get around the city. But the cost highly depends on the zone in central London. Some zones are cheaper and some are a lot more expensive. Outside London, the average bus ride can cost you around 2.5 pounds per ride. So from destination A to B, it will cost you around 2.5 pounds for small commutes and small rides only. In my personal experience, the public transport in UK is quite expensive, and the cost is almost the same as having your own vehicle. So if you want to live here long term, I would recommend you to buy a vehicle and drive it yourself. And in that case, if you want to drive it yourself, at the current price of the fuel, which is 1.9 pounds per litre, it will cost you around 200 to 250 pounds per month outside London if you want to keep your own vehicle. Now that gives you a lot of advantages. You'll have the comfort of your own vehicle, you can use it anytime, anywhere, but it also adds extra costs such as maintenance and insurance. And one last expense other than the travel is TV license. In UK, if you watch any TV channel run by the government such as BBC, you will have to pay a TV license which is around 15 pounds per month. So that's a very simple breakdown of the monthly cost of living in UK. Now keep in mind that this is just an estimate. The actual cost of you living in UK may vary slightly. So take this as an estimate and calculate your own expenses accordingly. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to answer you. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.